Hi everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of Kitchen Foundations, where we take a fundamental approach to cooking. I think that with great technique, rock solid equipment, and the best ingredients that you can find, anyone's cooking can be taken to the next level. My name is Anthony, and I'm a 20-year professional chef, and I'm going to share with you what I've learned along the way. In this first episode, we are going to take a look at the All-Clad D3 10-inch skillets. I was thinking about what piece of equipment I wanted to review first, and the very first quality set of equipment that I ever bought was from All-Clad. All-Clad is an American cookware company based out of Pennsylvania, right in the heart of steel country. And what made All-Clad famous was they bonded 3 layers of metal together. That's where the 3 comes in the D3 line.
So what we have right here is a cross section of the 3 layers. Layer 1 is a non-reactive stainless steel. Layer 2 is the aluminum, and 3 is a stainless steel that is also induction capable. I thought a picture would show you better because, I can't cut my pan open. So now a little bit of why they chose these 2 metals.
And the reason they did that is because stainless steel is not the best conductor of heat. Aluminum is a much better conductor of heat, but it has some things that you don't really want in cookware as well. So aluminum is really reactive with acidic food. So if this pan was aluminum and you used tomato sauce or lemon juice or white wine, that would react with your pan. So what that means is it could turn your food gray, or it could leach out metals and chemicals into your food that you don't necessarily want to eat. So All-Clad put a layer of stainless steel in there to combat this. Let's talk about the construction of this pan a little bit. So like I said, this is tri-ply bonded metal, and that metal goes from edge to edge. So what that does is it creates a very even heating surface. With cheaper pans, you don't always get that. So I have a little grilled cheese pan here, and to show you what less expensive cookware does is they have a metal ring, and that's pretty much the only thing that gets hot when you put this on your stove. So that means this edge, this edge, this edge, and this edge does not get as hot as the center does. And what that does is create hot spots and uneven cooking. So if you ever made a grilled cheese and one half looked brown and the other half didn't, that's probably why. With All-Clad, you don't really get that because the entire thing is one metal. That's actually 3 metals, but it's even throughout.
So I figured since we talked about the grilled cheese when we were showing this pan earlier that we would just do a little test run and see how these 2 pans performed. So we just have basic grocery store bread and craft singles. So probably not the best things to do for my first video, but it's just for demonstration purposes. So this side looks really good, nice and brown. But as we flip it over, that's what I was talking about earlier, where you get the white spots. Now we'll look at the All-Clad. And this really isn't what you buy this pan for. This is more for searing meat and sauteing vegetables and things like that. But we'll just do this to see how it does. With this pan, you're going to have to use more butter because it doesn't have the nonstick coating that the other one does. This butter isn't cooperating very well with me and keeps burning my fingers, but that's okay. We have the same bread and the same craft singles for this. So we flip it over, and this actually had some spots that weren't as brown as I would have liked either. We'll flip it over, and actually this side came out really nice. It's brown, it's crispy, and so it did okay. So now we're going to test something that you probably actually bought this pan for. I went to my local butcher and picked up this beautiful ribeye. It's 20 ounces, has decent marbling with a good amount of fat in the center. We're gonna season it with flaky salt and fresh cracked black pepper. We'll flip it over and get the other side. So we've already preheated our pan. It's been going for probably 6 or 7 minutes on medium-high heat. Some olive oil in the pan. Swirl it around to make sure you get coverage everywhere. And in goes the ribeye. So what's really crucial when you are pan searing a ribeye is contact with the metal. You don't want there to be any of the meat that's not touching the metal, because that won't sear like the rest, and that'll be great when everything else gets brown. So we'll flip it over, and pretty nice job on that. There's a little gray right in the center, but that's okay. I mean, that's a pretty big steak too. Expect it to be completely seared at every single spot. A little butter on it. Probably doesn't need it because it's got so much fat on it, but hey, a little butter never hurt anything. And there's the finished product. So we'll throw it on the cutting board to let it rest for a couple minutes. And after it rests, we'll cut into it. The moment of truth, and nice and red in the center. So we got a good sear on the outside and red in the middle.
Let's talk about the pros and cons of this pan. We'll start with the pros. We'll talk about what I like. First of all, I like the weight and the construction of it. This thing is rock solid. I mean, there's no flex in it. And I mean, it's heavy, but it's not too heavy. So some people have arthritis or maybe can't lift too much. This is okay. It's only, 2 to 3 pounds, whereas cast iron is maybe 3 times this. So if you have any physical limitations, this thing is a good choice for you. I like the performance. I mean, that ribeye looked great. It came out perfect with the sear. I like that it's non-reactive, so you can use acidic foods in it. And I also like that it's made in America. I like supporting American brands, and this is made right in Pennsylvania, so it fits, checks that mark. What's not so great about this? The price. This can be somewhat expensive. It's $80 to $150 depending on where you get it. The weight actually might be a negative for some people. If you don't have enough strength in your hands, you may not be able to pick this up and shake it around. But other than that, there's not much I don't like about it. I would recommend this. I've had this for over a decade, and it's always served me well. I don't always reach for it when I go to sear something. A lot of times I'll reach for a large cast iron pan, but like I said, if I want to use anything acidic, you can't use cast iron because, like I said, it'll leach out chemicals and metal into your food, and I don't want to eat that, and neither should you. So thank you for watching this today. Like I said, this is my first ever episode, and it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, and it's, everyone says it's a journey, but it really is. And these videos are going to get better. They're going to get more in depth, and we're going to cook a little bit more. So thank you for watching. Please click the links below to subscribe and like. That really helps me out, especially being a beginner channel. And I'll see you in the next episode.